Welcome back to Snap Publishing, where we discuss the secrets of Edward Leeds Gallin's Coral Castle and how it pertains to the biblical narrative, the Temple of Solomon, the Zodiac, and modern DNA. So let me move on here. The video I was talking about is called Structure from Chaos, semicolon, Fractals Generated on Circle of Fifths. It's a YouTube video by a content creator called AlgoMotion, capital A and capital M. AlgoMotion. When you watch this video, if you're a low IQ voter, you're going to see it makes a noise like bonk, bonk, bonk. These people accusing me of pareidolia, or these Christians with myopia or hyperopia, they can't see the pattern because their thoughts are kabonk, kabonk, kabonk. So all they see is these random dots appear and then disappear. And they're happy with that. They're like, I got my Jesus. I got my Bible right here. I got my Bible app on my phone. They're happy. They're simpletons. For the rest of us that can walk to school and chew bubblegum and bounce a basketball, the ones who usually get run away from the church because they start asking questions and the minister starts telling them you're of the devil, or they just realize, I've outgrown this and I don't know why. Same thing with a woman in a marriage. Kids are all raised. They want to go their own way. They want to find out who they are. Let them go. Oh, no, you can't. You got to have that one wife. I'm the old man of the mountains, and I don't want you painting that mountain. It's an old Bugs Bunny cartoon. Oh, yeah, these people flip out. Have another wife? Well, I can't have another, so nobody's gonna. Yeah, your wife, you don't need one. She's doing the right thing. My mother was that way. But there's a lot of people out there that are like, hey, you know what? I loved you. We had kids. They're very successful. Thank you. I got to go. That's you on a church pew. A lot of you. Because you are getting the look like you don't belong here. You're causing problems. So anyway, this video shows you that when you speed up your understanding of the Bible and you start reading that Bible, you jump around from all those different books and you realize, you know what, I'm comfortable in my salvation. Jesus is in the salvation business, and I don't need to question that. And I'm going to live, and on occasion, when I get the ick, I'm going to ask for forgiveness. I'm never going to stop doing that. That comes up every couple months usually, unless, like, back in my drinking and all that, I did it a lot. And I didn't want to die in my sin. And that sounds hypocritical, but it's not. I like the account where Gehazi and Elijah, I believe it was Elijah, the man he cured, the Syrian prince, he said, hey, I know the one true God is in Israel now. You've convinced me that this is legit. Judaism is the way. And I can get onto it. What's happening today is very similar to this. People are getting this wrong because the church will no longer provide salvation. It's going to return to Israel. We're in the time of the Gentiles right now. If you follow some of the things Candace Owens is saying, she's going to get you in trouble because they don't believe that salvation is going to be of the Jews one more time. That is the second coming of Christ. Salvation does not come through Jesus. You have to go you got to go to a synagogue or a temple. And people are hating on Israel today. You guys better wake up to what's going on because you're in a change. The clock is about to strike 12. It's been on 10, 11, and now it's changing. We're going into a different era. And these people that are hating on Israel, you better pay attention. I'm not agreeing with everything Israel does. I don't agree with them. Israeli people are good. American people are good. But the governments are wicked. Do not be deceived. Governments all suck. Okay? plenty of good people in government, but it's run by dirty, filthy money. Don't want to get into it. So I'm going to get back into this pattern. You don't see it if you're like, da-dunk, da-dunk, da-dunk. It's like that old tennis table game, Pong. You miss the complete meaning because you're a low IQ Christian, low IQ Hindu, low IQ Judaistic Hebrew, low IQ Buddhist, low IQ scientist. You're low IQ. And you're protecting what cannot be protected. You're trying to save the unsalvageable. You're going to get on with the ship. Because if you speed up the process, all of a sudden, the Sierpinski pattern, the triangles within the big triangle, that pattern starts to appear when you increase your frequency. When you go around all the books and you look at the book as a whole, the whole meaning and purpose of that book, you realize the science and the math behind it. And you can argue scientific points using the Bible. So anyway, we're going to move on. The mystery of hydrogen was never properly covered. And the church rolled over for the scientists that said it goes over here. Even though they knew it belonged over the 6 and the 9, they pushed it over that way. I call those people that belong to that esoteric group Local 33. 3 and 3. Sound familiar? It should. Because that's them. And they got it all wrong. They're convinced they're right, that I somehow need to see it to be enlightened. Oh, you'll see. God is really the devil. Oh, okay. No, he ain't. But anyway, they're the ones who called Adam. They say, oh, Adam had a second wife. That's Lilith. No, that's lithium. You got hydrogen over the top. That's the serpent, the deceiver. Lilith, quote unquote, lithium. That's Eve. And beryllium is Adam. Those two had to get clothed by God. They had to be forgiven. An animal sacrifice had to be made. Sure, it was a sheep. It was a lamb, firstborn. And they had to be clothed with the lambskin. And then they entered in to the holy place, because they were allowed to now. And they became carbon, fluorine. Those are the 2/3 that did not fall with Lucifer. That is the science of the Bible. That imbecile Christian ministers cannot argue from, because they have no concept of it. It happened before they were born, and they accepted the terms that they were given. I did not. I questioned everything. I said, something ain't right. Something, my nose is never wrong. But anyway, why are we talking about this? Because we've wrongly assigned hydrogen 1 protium, lithium, the numerical value of 1, and we, by proxy, have assigned God the value of 0. And now our numerical system, alphabetical system, periodic order system, and now our computer systems are all being programmed wrong. They've been given the wrong values, and now AI robotics seeks to enslave and murder us as a result, because we programmed it to be God, to stand in the stead, in the place of the Almighty, who can never be accurately described. Like I talked to you about in earlier videos, 1 represents Googleplex. So anyway, and 0 represents being broke, being cold, being hungry. Very well defined. 1 cannot be defined. 0, very well defined. Don't let them fool you. I'm here to tell all you nice folks, wake up, because not too long ago, in modern times, when the periodic order started becoming visible to us, hey, did Mendeleev suffer from pareidolia? Oh no, he was a scientist. Einstein had pareidolia? Oh no, he was a scientist. Only Christian crazy people have pareidolia. Now, watch the video and you see the pattern increases with your studying. and burning the midnight oil, which I have done. I've put in my time. You don't do line work in the IBEW for 25 years and still have all your fingers and toes, both your eyes, no burns on your body, plenty of scars, without having your shit together. Don't let them fool you. Because these people that have these fancy titles on their wall, for perspective, watch Good Will Hunting. They bring up a lot of interesting points in that movie. And most of the people that are going to bash me to you, I could wipe my rear end with their diploma. I could do what they've done, probably in a fraction of the time they've done it, but they could never do what I did. There's no way they could work live power lines. They would get killed. Never forget that. So I'm here to tell you, Joe Nobody, voice crying in the wilderness, people wake up. The issue at hand is very small. It's subtle. It blew right by everybody and nobody blinked. That's how small it is. A 1 is a 1, a 0 is a 0. 0 represents Eve and evil outside the temple before Eve got salvation in her state of rebellion. Shiva, Kali, her boyfriend, her husband, they're outside the temple. That's the 0. We have a unique relationship with God. God's in the forgiveness business. We were allowed to get forgiveness and come into the temple because we have the proper mindset. We have the proper lining up of the 3, 6, and 9 and where they belong. Lucifer can't have that relationship. That's why Proteum H1 is outside the temple. H2, come on in. H3, definitely come on in. We got to have the best meeting of the minds in history so that we don't end up with this Scopes monkey mock trial, which was later totally disproven by Watson and Crick's findings. You never heard a thing about it. They're quick to say, oh, look at this. We came from monkeys. But when they found out, yeah, we share DNA, but we didn't come from them. Shh, don't tell anyone. They'll never admit that they were wrong. Because they took the front office, bro. They're never giving it back. It's up to you as a scientific-minded Christian. Pull your head out of your rear end. Say something. Share this video. Get the word out. Buy something. I'm selling graphics. Hand them out. We need the best theologians, the best physicists, chemists, people who understand the periodic order and the biblical storyline, the narrative. Dake, Jennings, Finis Dake, I think is his name, Jennings Dake. The Dake Bible dispensations chart, which compartmentalizes the whole storyline, the history, timeline of biblical events. Look up dispensation chart, and you will see all these times God dealt with humans from before Adam and Eve. That's the pre-Adamite world. That's when Lucifer was a good guy. Then Lucifer fell. God destroyed everything. Recreates the planet. Adam and Eve are given full control. They blow it. That was the dispensation of innocence, which became later on conscience, human government, Moses' law, and today we're in grace. I might have missed one. But those were the way God dealt with people in the past. Right now we're under grace. That's about to change, Candace. You better wake up. Because we're going into a time where God is coming back. Jesus will come back and we won't recognize Jesus. Not coming back as the hippie anymore. It's a military system. Slack will not be given. And I'm sure AI is going to be part of that system. So we better get this right. It behooves us to get this right. place the 1 and the 0 in their right perspective positions. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I'll probably just end it with consider the future that you're going to hand your children and your grandchildren. The magnitude of that. Very rare in history has this become an issue. It happened when we developed nuclear bombs. We had to be careful the world that we handed our future generations. I think we did a pretty good job. Could have been better. But now, and it wasn't just nuclear, it was biological, chemical. Okay? Aside from the C-19 disaster and the, Lyme disease disaster, where these Satanists are running Big Pharma and they're allowed to do the things they're doing through the term vaccinating, which is just a candy coating for what they're actually doing. They're testing drugs. Watch Dallas Buyers Club or watch Lorenzo's Oil. You'll see how they operate. Okay? You see the movie Outbreak, it comes out in the movie Outbreak. Okay, the bad guy in there, Donald Sutherland, he explains in that movie, it goes right by most people. But AIDS was a product of that. All right? So we need to really, really seriously take this video very serious. It's one of the most important, if not the most. It's right there with Jesus not being Lucifer. They go hand in hand. So people, I implore you to go out and watch that video on that circle of fifths. That is the frequency you need to get elevated to so that the scales can fall from your eyes. You already received salvation. Don't worry about your salvation. You're putting too much into that basket. God is in the forgiveness business. Be comfortable with that. Be comfortable in your salvation. I had a lot of problem with that because I grew up Roman Catholic, and Roman Catholics love to get dramatic and smite themselves with the cat o' nine tail. Oh, for every little infraction they do. Meanwhile, when you're doing that, you're not getting anything done in life. You can't get squat done for the gospel. You're great because you're being mommied and daddied and babied and nursed on some church pew, polishing it with your ass real good. You're not growing. You're not getting things done that you know inside. Like I talked about earlier video, Bruce Springsteen saying, I set out to be the person I wanted to be. And that blew my mind. So you got to get out there and make this a better world at your level. How can we change it? By changing our understanding of numerical systems, periodic systems, questioning the people who we didn't do it, but our forefathers gave the trust over to these evil people. And the chickens came home to roost. You see what they did with C-19 and all this evil that they've done. You know. Those are the people you gave your future and your children's future over to. All right, so we're going to leave it right there. Thanks for tuning in. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and check out our links in the description.